Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another reading, and this reading is going to be on Irving Nicki Minaj's manager and how he feels about Camel Face, aka Mr. Carter, okay? Beyonce's husband. Before we get into the reading, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. And let's start off with this. How does Irving, Nicki Minaj's manager, how does he feel about Jay-Z, Mr. Carter? Okay, so he does feel like Jay-Z is very successful, or somebody that knows how to make money, okay? So he does, when he thinks of Jay-Z, he thinks of success, okay? We do have the Five of Wands. Doesn't agree with a lot of his tactics or the things that he does. The Five of Wands represents conflict, disagreements, basically not being on the same page, okay? And then we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This talks about when you have work-home conflict. So basically, Irving feels like that a lot of times Jay-Z kind of mixes business and pleasure. That's how Irving feels. Like he mixes business and pleasure, okay? Probably has a lot to do with, people knowing information about, the whole Rihanna situation, Rita Ora. I told y'all about the whole Megan thing. So he kind of feels like he mixes business and pleasure, because the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, that represents work-home conflict. Like when you kind of put your work and pleasure at the same place, okay? And then the Page of Swords, this talks about protecting someone, fighting for someone. So he's willing to protect Nicki Minaj, okay? He's willing to protect her as long as they're on the same page. And then the Eight of Swords in reverse, this talks about, he's kind of very critical of Camel Face. He's very critical of Camel Face because he feels like there's a lot of drama happening behind the scenes. So the Eight of Swords, this talks about negative talk, saying things negatively or viewing someone in a negative light. This also has a lot to do with, feeling like you're between a rock and a hard place. So he feels like in regards to Camel Face, there's always some sort of drama, okay? So he feels like there's drama behind the scenes. And also he feels like, Jay-Z kind of mixes business and pleasure, but he does respect him as a businessman, because the Six of Wands is here. This talks about public recognition, success. This talks about when people view you as wealthy or that you have a lot of money. So he does feel like he is a good businessman, but he just feels like he mixes business and pleasure. And also that, he creates drama, or he does certain things behind the scenes, okay? So let's see. Will Irving and Jay-Z work together in the future? Irving and Jay-Z, will they work together in the future? Nicki Minaj's manager, Irving, will they work together in the future with Jay-Z? Honestly, I can see Irving doing business with Jay-Z in the future. Okay, hopefully Nicki's not tied into it, but the Four of Wands is here. This talks about success. This talks about, harmony. This talks about being on the same page with someone. Okay, also we have the Chariot card, and he views Jay-Z as somebody that's powerful. This talks about willpower. This talks about success also. So it looks like it could happen in the future for at least Irving and Camel to work together. But it's not going to be long term. The Seven of Pentacles, this talks about short lived, this talks about short term success. Okay, so it's not going to be long term. Nine of Cups in reverse, this talks about not being completely satisfied. Kind of looking at somebody sideways. So it doesn't look like it's going to be long lasting, but it can happen. And then the Tower card, this talks about like chaos, a transitioning happening, change. So it's going to be some drama behind the scenes in regards to them working together, but it looks like it can happen, especially in the future. We also have the Moon card. This kind of represents anxiety. This kind of represents, fear, not fully trusting somebody. Okay. And then the Two of Pentacles, this talks about having a lot on your plate, juggling more than one thing. And, Irving and Camel both do more than one thing. They just don't, manage artists or do like the whole label type of thing. They have investments and other deals that they probably do on the side. So let's see. How does Jay-Z feel about Irving, Nicki Minaj's manager? Jay-Z, how does he feel about Irving, Nicki Minaj's manager? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so we do have the Ace of Pentacles. This talks about he kind of feels like Nicki will have some success with Irving. The Ace of Pentacles, this talks about opportunities. So he does feel like Nicki is going to get help with Irving. We also have, the Justice card. This talks about fairness. He thinks that Irving is fair, a good person, doesn't really do a lot of underhanded things. He might do some underhanded things, but usually he's a fair person. We also have the Ten of Swords. This talks about, betrayal. This talks about loss. So it's almost like he doesn't feel like the relationship with him and Nicki, Irving and Nicki, is going to last. He doesn't feel like it's going to last. He feels like it's just for right now that, he's going to give her some opportunities, but then eventually she's going to move on to something else. The Ten of Swords, this talks about loss. This talks about betrayal. So that's how he feels like the relationship will end. Also, we have the Hangman here. This talks about when you're not able to move forward, stalemate, okay? This talks about when you're not able to make progress. And in regards to Irving and Nicki, that's how he feels like the relationship is going to end. Eventually, Nicki's going to kind of run stagnant. That's how Camel feels. She's going to get some opportunities. Then she's going to kind of run stagnant, and then Irving's not going to be able to help her. That's how he feels about the relationship that eventually is going to end. We also have the Six of Swords here in reverse. This talks about walking away from the situation. So eventually, he kind of feels like Nicki will walk away from Irving, okay? And that's how he feels. He doesn't feel like it's going to last. The Three of Swords is here. This talks about heartbreak, pain, ending something. So he does feel like their relationship is not going to last, okay? That's how he feels. Well, if you guys like this reading, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. This reading was strictly for entertainment purposes only, and I hope you have a great day.